Hello, future Central Penn College Knights, and welcome to our virtual Closer Look weekend event. I wish that you were here in person with me, but I hope that you were enjoying the day with your family and your friends, and I hope that all of you are doing well during this very challenging time. So let's go ahead and get started. First, let me be one of the first to welcome you to the Central Penn College family. I am so happy that you chose to spend this time with us today to get to know our college community a little bit better and to be around fellow students, even if it is in this virtual world. When we get back to campus, I am looking forward to meeting each and every one of you. So the purpose of my presentation today is to really give you a little bit of the history of Central Penn College, to talk about my vision for the college, including some of the things we're working on over the next few months, and then talk about the big transition to college and how your mindset and approach is possibly the most important thing for you to focus on during this transitional time. So let's begin with a brief history about Central Penn College. So we actually started as a business college in downtown Harrisburg, and we began in 1881. Father and his son were really extraordinary businessmen and wanted to teach that to people, so they did. So we began in Harrisburg and we moved across the river in 1970. Actually, we're celebrating our 50th year on the Summerdale campus this year. Once we moved to Summerdale, we just continued to grow. We became accredited by Middle States Commission on Higher Education. That's our regional accreditation. In '99, we were approved to offer associate's degrees. Then we added bachelor's degrees in 2000. And you'll notice that in 2004, we actually started offering online classes. So yes, we have been offering online programs for 16 years, and we do it really well. So even in this virtual time, we're one of the leaders in higher education when it comes to online learning. In 2013, we were approved to offer master's degrees. Then in 2018, we offered over 31 different programs. In 2019, we started introducing some new academic concepts and more student support. And then just recently, we launched a 5-week telehealth course for healthcare professionals. And that's actually starting in the next couple of days. So during our history, one thing about us is that we've been able to continue to evolve to meet our community needs, and we will continue to do so. Our mission at Central Penn College is to open opportunities to students from a variety of academic backgrounds by providing the education needed for employment and advancement in their fields. The students who choose to attend Central Penn College, like many of you, want to get their degree in a much shorter period than if they go to a traditional semester college. So where you would normally take 2 semesters at a traditional institution, at Central Penn College, you can take 4 different terms. So it accelerates your time to graduation. We specialize in making that a reality for students. And according to our most recent one-year graduation survey, after 1 year, sometime within that first year of graduating, 89.2% of our graduates are working in their profession that they studied in college, or they're continuing their education. So not just working at any job anywhere, but in the field that they studied. And closer to 98% are working somewhere. So let's talk a little bit about my vision. It's been almost 2 years since I've been the president at Central Penn College, and my focus is grounded in our college's history and providing opportunities to students and to our community. So I just want to talk about a couple of the things that I'm working on right now. So just to talk about a couple of the things, some innovative academic programs that we're looking at. The first are Stackable Programs, and this is really designed to give students some micro-credentials every step of the way. So a student might come here and start to get a phlebotomy certificate. That phlebotomy certificate leads to an associate's degree in medical assisting. The medical assisting degree can transfer into our degree in Bachelor's of Science in Health Sciences, which can transition into our Master's of Professional Studies. So the idea is that you can be here for a certain amount of time and receive multiple credentials. So that's something that we're really excited about. As I mentioned earlier, we just launched a 5-week telehealth course, which officially begins in just a few days on May 18th. And recently, we also offered about 40 cultural enrichment opportunities to people in our community at no cost to them. So that means they can log on to an online class, be able to learn. They wouldn't receive credit for the course, but they're able to add to their repertoire. So additional student support, we're meeting students where they are and we are helping them get to graduation and in results, getting jobs. So a few things that we've done. We've chosen to freeze tuition for our second consecutive year in a row. I have made it a priority in my administration to make college more accessible and more affordable to students. And we're still looking at ways that we can do that for our students, even as early as this morning. We have launched our free housing for incoming students. Hopefully some of you are taking advantage of that. And even though right now there aren't students on our campus due to COVID-19, we are still extending this to next year. So what that means is that incoming students can live on campus without having to pay for housing for that first year. And I'm hoping to see a lot of you take advantage of that. Other support services include our advising center, our learning centers, restorative judicial practices, and our food pantry and new food services. We are also very invested in producing graduates who stay in Central Pennsylvania. We want to become a place-based institution instead of a space-based institution. What I mean by that is we want to be the hub of community where everything is happening on our campus, where we can be a resource for our community, we can build relationships and partnerships, innovative partnerships with local high schools and other colleges, like Commonwealth Charter Academy, where we'll have some high school students on our campus, and even Widener Law School, where now students start at Central Penn College and then transfer to Widener. They can have their law degree in 5 years. So those are the types of programs that we're looking into. And we want to keep our students here, near us, so additional internships and job shadowing for students. We want to increase those graduation rates and respond to our community needs. All right, so that's enough about Central Penn. Let's talk a little bit about you and what you might be feeling today in getting ready to start your college career. I'm sure there's a lot of different emotions you may be feeling, and probably even more so during this COVID-19 times. You could be excited or nervous or anxious, unsure, scared, prepared for anything, not prepared at all, or not sure how to feel. Here's the good news. The good news is that it's all normal. Those are all emotions you should be feeling right now. It's because you're making a major transition. And so what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about an athlete approach to education. I am a New York Giants fan. I'm sure you can probably tell that by some of my plaques in my office. Anyone at the college knows this. I come from New York. I am a New Yorker, so I'd never lived in Pennsylvania until 4 years ago when I came down here to be the provost and then the president. And Michael Strahan is someone that I really look up to, and I had an opportunity to hear him speak a few years ago, and he talked about his relationship with his father, and that his father always said, "Don't say if, say when." And what he means by that is that he wants you to think purposefully. Not if I go to Central Penn College, when I go to Central Penn College. Not if I graduate, when I graduate. Not if I'm going to get that dream job, but when I get the dream job. So when he would think about being in the NFL, it wasn't if I become an NFL player, it was when I become an NFL player. You need to think about the same kind of mindset in every step of the way in education, because it will be the same for you. And the ability to attain success is actually more in your hands than you may think. So here's a chart that shows the power of positivity. And what it's really showing you is that the way that you approach happiness and success is more in your control than you might think. So 50% of how you pursue happiness are your genetics. There are people that are just more likely to be optimistic. They might see the positive in everything, lean towards the positive, always think that the future is better than the past. It's not that they're naive, it's that they have something called optimism bias, which means they're able to visualize things. Okay, that's 50%. So there are people who are naturally a little bit more negative or tend to see things on the other side. 10% of how you perceive happiness or positivity is actually your circumstances. So right now, 10% can be working a little bit harder than it might normally be because of the circumstances that we're in, because we're forced to stay at home. You may know someone affected by COVID-19, but that's only actually 10% of whether or not you're happy. 40% of your ability to be happy or successful is actually your outlook on a situation. It's your ability to visualize yourself being a certain way. And there's been a lot of studies on this. So I just want to tell you something really quick story. So Dr. Sarah Bennington at the University of East Anglia, she discovered that students' brains responded differently when they were primed before taking an exam. So students who were primed to think they were going to do really well, that they were prepared, that they had this test, that it was easy, did better than students who were told, this is the hardest exam I've ever given, nobody passes this exam. Both still made mistakes on the tests, but then they were given an opportunity to retake the test. And when they retook the test, same exact test, the students who were primed with optimistic thoughts actually learned from their mistakes and did better. The students who were primed with negative thoughts performed worse on the exam the second time around than they did the first time. So your brain adapts and changes throughout your life, and you can control a lot of those thoughts. You can certainly control your reaction to thoughts. How many of you are under 25 years old right now? My guess is most of you are under 25. Well, did you know that your brain doesn't actually stop growing and reach its maturity level until you're 25 years old? So your brain today is still forming, and it's still deciding how it needs to be and how it wants to act. So you have the power to control some of that positivity. So the bottom line is that if you put yourself out there, you will open yourself up to more opportunities. I love to surround myself with quotes, with positive quotes. I start my day each day with one of these calendars that gives me these types of quotes. And I love these things. You have to do new things. You have to do something you ordinarily wouldn't do. Join a club, try out for a sport, talk to classmates, volunteer for an activity that's new for you. Go pick your professor's brain. Your college experience is completely what you make of it. And that means in this virtual world too. There are going to be virtual activities. You should definitely take advantage of some of those. Remember, if you do not step forward, you will always be in the same place. Okay, so think about that. And I'm so happy because many of you made the choice to even be here in the first place. So make the most of this virtual experience. View the videos from our academic deans, participate in the live Q&As with the admissions office, residence life, athletics office, and student services. Play bingo, trivia, and Rocket League. We are so excited that you are here with us today. And remember that nothing is easy. If it was, then everybody would do it. But everything is possible and within your reach. You chose us to be here today because you want to better your life. And you may have a dream job or a career that you are thinking about. Within a blink of an eye, I will see you walking around on campus. And then what will be most thrilling for me is watching you grow into the student that you want to become, and then handing you your diploma one day at graduation. Welcome to the Central Penn College family, and enjoy the rest of your day.